This is my 2013 BMW S1000RR Sport. And today, it's beginning a very important transformation. Join me as I turn my road-going bike into a fully fledged track weapon, but on a budget. So if you've been keeping up to date with the shorts, you'll know that recently I've made a little purchase, and it's going to make building this bike on a budget a lot better. You might actually have worked out already what I've bought, but basically I've bought some track fairings. Now I know that these are the Gen 3, so I might have to do a little bit of modification in the belly pan area, but that's nothing that I can't resolve, and I'm really excited. I know that in the last episode I said that I wasn't quite ready to let go, and in truth, I'm not. I absolutely love this bike, and it was the absolute dream to have it in this colour, which is why I actually decided, ironically, to get the track fairings. My bike is in overall pretty good condition, and the paintwork's pretty good. So, the last thing I want is to lay it down in Spain and ruin my lovely paint, and ruin how my bike actually looks. So getting some track fairings not only is going to make it look more like a track bike, but it's also going to protect it a little bit. You know, it's going to keep my absolute pride and joy safe. So I'm really excited to get these on. It's just going to be a lot better. It's going to be a lot better for track. So today, my mission is to remove the nose cone and just basically offer up this one. If I get time, I'm going to take the side fairings off as well. But the whole point of today's episode is essentially to start stripping down my bike, because I've got a lot of work to do. I've still got a day job. I've still got work to go to. So my days to work on the bike are quite limited. So it's time to get grafting. So in order to start taking them off, I've first got to take these bolts out. There's some on the other side as well. And that's for the mirrors. And essentially from there, it's all about taking some bolts out, taking some plastic off, and it is basically that easy. So I'm going to crack on. So to make my life a hell of a lot easier, I'm actually going to use this. What it is an ABBA Skylift. Now, I've personally had this for quite a few years now, and honestly and truly, it makes life so much easier. It allows you to access the lower panels of the bike a lot easier. It allows you to move the bike around, and honestly, it is a fantastic bit of kit. And ABBA Skylifts are now actually partners of WMR. They're supplying us some Skylifts, and you guys will get to see them in action, not only on YouTube, but also in the paddock. So you'll get to see for yourself just how cool these bits of kit are. So when it comes to maintenance stands, ABBA Skylifts are actually quite unusual, because you don't sit on the swing arm. You actually use the swing arm pivot. And what this does is it allows you to pivot the bike forwards and backwards and lift it up, so you've got access to all areas of it. And it's absolutely ingenious. So I'm going to get my bike on this Skylift and I'm going to get cracking. So as you can probably see, my bike's now on the Skylift. So we're going to start pumping it up. I'll give you a quick rundown on how it actually works. So as I've said, the ABBA Skylift actually works a little bit different to most stands. As you can see, it actually mounts where the swing arm pivot is. And then it's got this big hydraulic piston. And it's got a little foot pump just down here. And what that allows you to do is lift the bike way up in the air. I'll show you the other side as well. So while on the Skylift, the bike is actually braced on both sides. It basically makes a pincer movement with this side and the other side around the swing arm pivot. So it makes it really stable when it's up in the air. You can see that currently the back end is quite high. But if we go towards here, you see there's actually just a strap onto an extra arm. And what you do is you tighten this, and it will bring the back wheel down and bring the front up. So as you can see, I've actually shortened that strap, and the bike's now a lot more level. Unfortunately, it's just started raining, and I don't have an indoor area to actually work on the bike at the minute, so it's kind of halted play for now. The bike is up on the Skylift though, and I hope you guys have sort of seen just how convenient the ABBA Skylift does make working on a motorcycle. But I'm going to head back in, and work will recommence very soon. In fact, little behind the scenes for you. We are currently looking out for a big container and that'll act as our workshop. It'll act as a storage for our 40-foot race trailer, and yeah, that will actually give a lovely indoor space for me to do videos like this. But for the meantime, I'm doing it in my own back garden and the rain has indeed come to stop play. So I'll catch you in a moment. So it's a little bit later on now and the rain stopped. So while I've still got my bike on the stand, I figured I'd do a little bit more. So first off, the first step to get these off, because they essentially help to support the front fairing onto the frame that the entire nose cone is connected to. So pretty much it's just a simple case. Just under here, there's some 10mm bolts that hold the mirrors on. And you just take them out and then the mirrors will pop straight off the frame. So that's the bolts out and the mirror comes straight off. Obviously now we've got to do the other side as well. And yeah, then we can crack on. So I've just about got this mirror off now and it's just started bloody raining again. So as we can see, that's the mirrors gone. And do you know what? She's already looking a bit more like a track bike. But like I said, the rain cometh again, so I'll see you in a moment where I continue with taking the fairings off. So while there's a little break in the rain, I thought I'd continue. So next step, we're going to take off these little winglets. Like I said, these little bits of aero are standard on this generation of S1000RR, and they actually support the fairing at this bottom corner. So we'll just whip these bolts out, and with that, away she comes. I think I've actually just broken that, not gonna lie. When I've dropped my spanner as well. Absolute nightmare. But yeah, that's the winglet off, so this part of the nose cone is now free. Just heading around now to do the other side, because obviously, even though the lights are asymmetrical, the bike itself isn't, so it does have small winglets on both sides. And obviously, just as the other side does, that supports this lower end of the fairing here. And with that last bolt, away she comes. And luckily, I've not actually broken this one. So the next part to unbolt is actually underneath. There's two little bolts just under here and on the other side, basically either side of the forks, that just hold the nose cone to the bottom of the fairing. So we'll whip those out real quick. Then that should free us up a little bit more and get us one step closer to taking off this nose cone. That's that side just about done. And then just two more on this side. So that is all of them out. The next step, we're going back up to the top because we've got to unbolt the lights from the back. As I said, the next bolts to come out are these. There's two here and there's two just on the other side as well. And what these basically do is they bolt the inner structure of the nose cone, i.e. the lights, and they bolt it directly to the clock bracket, which obviously you can see the whole thing attaches to. So we'll whip these little bolts out.
Just like so.
That's that one. And we'll take the bottom one out as well. Moving on to the other side now. Exactly the same procedure. And that is just about both of those taken off. So now these two bolts are taken out, and so are the two on the other side. The next ones are actually just here. These little ones down here. And then once they're gone, we can unclip this, and then the entire nose cone should come off. As you can see, with all of those bolts taken out, it's not far off ready to come off. So it might not look it on camera, but it's actually getting quite dark now. So not only have I been defeated by the rain today a couple of times, I've also been defeated by the daylight. So I'm going to pick this back up tomorrow, and then we can finally get this off and have a proper look at what this bike is going to look like when I'm riding it in Spain. So it's actually a couple of days later now. Obviously, as you saw, I got rained off and I ran out of light. But I'm here to continue to strip down the fairings and just basically begin this bike's transformation. So as I've said, these ones are the next bolts to actually come out. I've already partially taken this one out because it was a bit of a pig, to be honest. I mean, there's evidence of what I've had to do just down here. Yeah, basically this one was quite badly rounded, so I've just hammered a larger Torx bit into it, and I have managed to get it out. But let's go get the other side out. As soon as both of these are out, this should be the last point at which this front fairing is held to the body. So as soon as this is gone, should be able to whip that nose cone off, which would be nice. So there's just a couple of clips down here, which obviously I'll need to pop off. But yeah, I'm actually just going to jack this up a little bit just to make it a little bit easier. Oh, we are free on that side. Okay. And she's off. Unplug these. Where are they? There we go. And with that, the fairing's off, finally. So it took a couple of days thanks to the weather. But yeah, that's the face removed. So let's continue with the side panels. So first things first, I'm going to take off these old crash bungs. I've already popped off the little cover, and there's a massive bolt in there, but these are not going back on because I've got some pretty exciting upgrades to put on these. If you saw the short that actually would have gone up a couple of days before I got put this video up, I've had a package from GB Racing, who's sponsoring the next episode, and all of this crash protection is going to be replaced for GB Racing, which I'm really happy about. So like I said, just taking off this crash bung now. And it's off. So next thing, of course, we've got the indicators down here. We've got some bolts all over the place. But then after that, this little side panel here should just lift off, and then I can start taking off the belly pan. Great. I found a stool. But yeah, I'm going to start taking off these little bolts all over the place. And then with that, this little guild panel should be ready to come off. That's one. I almost miss the times when fairings were a lot simpler, like with all the old school bikes, like from the 90s and things, where it's literally just one solid panel. Yeah, it would have been nice to still have that, but alas, we've got jigsaw puzzles now. It's actually quite a lot easier without the nose on. There's another couple down here. I think it should just be this one, and then the belly pan can probably come off. So much easier when the bolts don't fight you. I've had it before where I've had to like get Dremels out and cut little flatheads into the bolts. I mean, that's not normally fairing bolts.
Are you sure about that?
Normally these aren't really in that tight, but say they can be an absolute nightmare. But can't wait to come off. So I will probably be keeping all of my road parts because it's in quite a good nick. But there we go, that's one side panel done. Next we can see that we have got the belly pan, so that's should just be a simple case of a couple more Torx bolts. Cool. I mean, the belly pan will probably come off in one go, so I'll probably have to do the other side before I do that. There's just one down here by the exhaust cut. And she's free. Right, let's go to the other side. So same as the other side, we're going to start with the crash bungs. There we go. There we go, crash bung off. That one's not very good actually. Let's have a go. Oh no. Just as I was saying that the bolts haven't been that bad, this one decides that it wants to be. Let's see if I can get this one in. No, that one is gonna fight us, it seems. No, that one is not coming at all. But not to worry, we'll get the rest of them out first and we'll tackle that one last. Yep. With this, it should be able to drop the belly pan now. And then we can try and tackle that bolt that's decided that it wants to be a problem. There she is. The belly pan is away. Right then, now I guess we should see how we're going to tackle this. I mean, to be honest, I might just drill the head off. It might be a little bit easier.
You just have to be careful because your drill can waver all over the place, or you can overheat it if it's, because it'll be plastic based, not fiberglass.
I mean, it is a plastic panel. Maybe I can just drill the head off it, perhaps.
Yeah, because if you drill the head off, you'll be able to take the panel off, and hopefully there's a little bit left over.
Yeah, I could just pull it out. So the big guns are out now. We're going to try and drill it, get this head off. We did it. I mean, it took the absolute mick, but finally we managed to get that off. Oh, I wasn't actually recording at the time that it just popped off, but I said, well, you could see the remnants. That really did fight me. So I guess now we'll get a pair of pliers out and we'll pull this last little bolt out. And it's out. Yes. So, that's all the fairings off. So as we can see, I've pulled off all of the fairings on my bike. So, I think that we should get the race fairings so that we can have a look at what this beast is going to look like. So obviously, this isn't on as, as it should be. This is just to give us a bit of a sneak peek of what my bike's going to look like. But that's going to wrap up this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Follow me for the next episode and I'll be putting on some fancy brand new GB racing parts, as well as an episode, probably the next one after that, that'll be sponsored by The Race Shop. We'll be applying new brake pads, new air filter and various other things to get me ready for the track. Remember to like, remember to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Ta-da!